Rainollon here. Today's another build showcase and it's the Fulmin Prime. So let us immediately start. Let's start with the mods first. Today I'm going to show you two builds. So let's start with the first one. The first one is the Deadhead setup. The Deadhead setup, the mods I'm using is Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Galvanized Ab for status chance and direct damage per status on target, Galvanized Scope for critical chance while aiming, Vital Sense for critical damage, Hammer Shot for critical damage and status chance, Magnetic Capacity for magnetic damage, and also magazine capacity, which is quite nice. You can see right here, magnetic damage. The weapon does come with impact and electricity. I'm also using Infected Clip, which gives you toxin, and electricity gives you corrosion. So these are the mods. For the Exo's weapon adapted slot mods, I will highly recommend going for Stabilizer, which gives you negative 60 weapon recoil, which helps the weapon quite a lot. For the Arcane, primary Deadhead, for me personally, is by far the best in slot. Easy access to 360 increased damage, headshot multiplier, and weapon recoil. All these stats are really good for this weapon. For the passive, alternative fire switches between semi-automatic mode and the automatic mode. Semi-mode deals impact status effect to enemies at close range. Switch speed is double when wielded by the Wisp. So what this means is the semi-mode has a guaranteed chance to proc impact, which complements internal bleeding by quite a lot. Internal bleeding sadly got nerfed after the armor and health changes, buffing health, nerfing armor, so slash is kind of weaker now. It still can be utilized, but not on this build. So yeah, I'm done here. That's the passive. For the stats, for the semi-automatic stats, fire rate is pretty good. Magazine size is quite high. Reload is really good, but this also has the battery system, which you just wait a couple seconds, it's going to reload for you. Accuracy is medium, it's a semi. Noise is silent. 2.2 punch through, which is quite good thanks to Prime Shred. The semi-automatic mode does come with infinite body punch through, so the 2.2 doesn't do much, but the 2.2 punch through does work against terrain, so you can shoot through walls. Riven Dispo is really bad. Fall off is horrible, so be close to enemies. Critical chance is good, critical damage is good, stat chance is good, and total damage is good. All these stats are pretty much, in my opinion, are really good. This weapon has also the alternative switch button, which is pressing the middle mouse, and you switch it from the semi to the automatic, and it turns the weapon from shooting a small plasma to shooting a laser. And the fire rate is much better, has nearly the exact same stats. Critical chance is higher, crit damage is higher, status is lower, but the total damage is also lower. And personally speaking, I'm not a big fan of the laser. I think it's all about the plasma. The plasma just does so much more damage. It's much more nicer to single target and even clear. So yeah, those are the stats for the bow, for the auto and semi, the passive, the mods, the arcane. Now let's talk about the second build, which I like much more, and I'm going to show it in game. It's the Crux setup. So the Crux setup, what's the difference between these two is this one uses Serration or Prime Shred, and I'm not using Deadhead, I'm using primary Crux, which is, in my opinion, such a nice arcane for this weapon. What it does is on weak point hit, which is shooting enemies in the head, gain 30 stash chance and 6 ammo efficiency for 10 seconds, stacks up 10 times, so that's 300% stash chance and 60% ammo efficiency, which fixes your ammo economy problems entirely on this weapon, which is amazing. And 300% stash chance also is really good on this weapon. So primary Crux is generally much better than Deadhead, but if you don't have primary Crux, you can use the Deadhead setup. Once you do, you switch it to this and you're going to enjoy it much more. So that's pretty much it. Those are the builds, and time for me to show you in game. So let us immediately start. So I'm finally in a mission. This is against Steel Path, Kuva Gnir. They're like really tanky and really nice way to show you the weapon itself. As you can see, without any buffs or armor strip, I only have my second ability turned on to give myself 10 introduction, so I don't die. And yeah, without buffs or armor strip, this thing is like eating these guys. Damage is quite nice. This is also the semi mode. I will show the auto very soon. I just want to talk about a little bit on the semi mode. So for the people that don't know, and the people that know, Every time you shoot the Fulmin on semi-mode, you always lose 10 ammo. But with the primary Crux, which I have all the time, we have 60% ammo efficiency, which means I'm not using, what do you call it, 10 ammo per shot, I'm using 4 ammo per shot, which is much nicer. Not only that, the magnetic capacity gives you another 40% ammo capacity, a magazine capacity, which boosts the weapon from, I think, 90 rounds to 112. Yeah, 112, or was it 80 rounds to 112, which also helps with the ammo economy. And with this, the weapon is just hella fun. I'm just holding left click, not even caring about the ammo. And it just feels so much better to use more than ever. These guys there's no chance for these guys to survive. If the first shot doesn't kill, the second one will, thanks to Galen and Zap. And yeah, it just feels like a crit rifle version of the Arca Plasmor, but it's also faster. It's just quite nice. Quite nice. Not only that, the magnetic damage is also really good at destroying X-Men's units overguard. Magnetic does more damage to overguard. So not only I'm good against Corpus, I'm also good against Khmer and X-Men's units. So on top of that, you can also use Nourish, which gives you viral. So now I have magnetic, viral, impact, and corrosion. So I'm good against any faction. It's just so good now. Just the amount of so little synergy with just one helmet, which is Nourish. You have a weapon that you can utilize against any factions, which is quite nice. It's really nice. Crux really changed the weapon a lot, and also the magnetic mod. And yeah, that's the semi-automatic mode. Let me show you the automatic mode. So you press the alternative fire mode button, which is your middle mouse, and you switch from the pulse rifle to a laser rifle. As you can see, this one, like I said, I don't like it, but it's usable. It's one of the better single target DPSers, I will say. There are plenty of weapons like this. This one is pretty, like, solid, I'll say, but I'm not a big fan. This thing exists, you know. Does much more damage, the crits are much more satisfying, the clear is much better, and even the single target is better. Now the Acolyte spawned, which is quite lucky. Torment, sure. I'm going to use buffs against him, so use this and this. Where are you? Up, there you are. Let's hope he doesn't kill me. Up, he proc some stuff on me. I can't see him. Oh! The armor strip him. Yep, there we go. That's pretty much it. The Acolyte despawned. Ember isn't also a really massive buffer. It's like a solid buffer, I will say. And I think you can easily do all content with this weapon. Maybe it falls off against some sort of enemies, like maybe the Privileges, level 4 and level 5. Maybe this weapon is weaker. Maybe against the Acolyte, which I'm definitely sure of that it isn't good against the Acolyte. But against other mini-bosses and bosses, not Acolytes, excuse me, the Archons, I think it's not good against the Archons. Against the Acolyte, it's good. So, I will say like 80 to 90% of the content you can easily use this weapon, and it's just going to carry you. It's really good. It's very satisfying. I fixed all the problems which I didn't like. And yeah, it's a very good weapon. So that's it. Time for me to extract, and I'm out. That's pretty much it. That's the Fulmin Prime. It isn't an Incarnon, it isn't a Kuva, it isn't a Tenant, it's just a Prime with a pretty solid buffs to it, thanks to primary Crux and magnetic capacity. Makes the weapon just feel really nice. I will highly recommend. Fulmin is pretty good now, and I hope you enjoy the build. Thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and see you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.